Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain Jared Freid coming to you live from Feather Nation Studios. Welcome to the new JTrain podcast. We're here every Monday with your emails, your stories, your questions. Keep sending them in, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Today we're going to do a mailbag. We got the luxury lounge. We're going to do a bunch of mailbags after that. But I got to start with, we are in Feather Nation Studios. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the beautiful background. We got New York City in the back. And we come in here and they have the worst bathroom situation that I've ever had in my entire life. And the thing is, I just don't get it. And I want you, the listener, to write in with your bad bathroom situation, because I can't be alone. You might have yours that, like, the door's next to your boss and you got to, like, flush every 7 seconds so they don't hear you fart. This one is it's just unreasonable. They're on the 11th floor, okay? And there's a key to the bathroom. Who are we stopping? Who on earth is down in the streets in Times Square and they're like, okay, we're going to go to a random building midway between 39th Street and take the elevator to the 11th floor so that I can go live in the bathroom. I just don't understand. This isn't a Starbucks on the ground level. So you have a key situation. So you have to come to the desk, get the key. This is my luxury lounge, I guess. Because I'm now, and then what bothers me is it's unreasonable. Because reasonable, Starbucks first floor, hey, we got people that just waltz in here. If you don't buy something, you generally don't care about the premises. I can understand that. We have homeless people that come in here and they're on drugs and they're dealing with their own issues. They tear apart the whole bathroom. We've had experiences that you cannot even believe. I can understand that. But when I came here to the front desk and I said to them, I go, why do you have a key? They go, you wouldn't believe. People come up here all the time. I'm like, no, I want a count. I want to know how many people. If it's one a year, then let's take the chance to have no key. Because when the key's taken and then I go to the bathroom, no, it's a one-person stall. You can't go in there. There's no extra keys. There's not like 20 keys in a basket. The other thing is, it is the smallest toilet I've ever dealt with in my entire life. So if my knees, I'm 5'8" and a half. I'm 5'8" and a half. If I'm not fitting in the toilet, what's going on? We have missed the boat. We have not figured this out. Is it the same in the women's room?
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's actually like really spacious. I'm
really
so sorry.
Spacious.
I'm sorry.
This is so not only are you mad that you have to get the key, so you're already upset that the key situation's happening. Then you get in there, then you get to the bathroom, you forget there's a key. Like, I forget that it's in my hand. And then I go to the handle and it's locked. And I go, oh, the key. Now I'm angered again that we're on the 11th floor. And we're keeping this bathroom under lock and key, literally. So then I open it up, and then there's 3 stalls, but there should only be 2. And I have to go in. You can't even take your pants off. Like, you can't even like put down your pants. And then I have to hang up the key where the coat would go. There shouldn't even be a coat hanger. I don't know what coat could ever fit in here. And then you literally have your knees against the door, and you have to like figure out your way around this, and forget wiping, right? Like, what? I can't even lift my right cheek. It is a problem to lift my right cheek to wipe my ass.
So is it small in the stall? Is it tight
I'm
going to
actually take a video of the bathroom. We'll post it on YouTube.
Okay,
I need people to see what we're dealing with here. We are living in squalor. This is horrific. This is it actually, every time we do it, every time I go to the bathroom here, I go, maybe we should just leave. Maybe we shouldn't. It puts me in such a bad mood. And when I ask them about it, I know it's just people working here. Don't tell me you don't even know. I need to like witness multiple people in the bathroom from the outside world to believe that. Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe. I believe it happened once, and we talk about it to this day, because that would be an amazing story.
Totally.
Oh my God, this guy came to the 11th floor. He figured out where the bathroom was. And then we needed a key. I can understand that story is told from grandma to grandkid, passed down through generations. But if it's one time, let's not consider the extreme the reality. Right in with your bad bathroom, situations.
I hate the key too. I hate it. But I put the key on where at the sinks.
At the sink? What is that? How? What do you mean?
Just because there's no place to even put
right.
in
Well,
the
that's the thing.
bathroom.
There's no room. There's no table in the bathroom to put the key in. It's this huge key. We're gonna put it all on video, and I want it to be on this. I want to show the people what we're dealing with here, like how hard we have to work just to live a normal life here in Feather Nation Studios, just to have a normal situation. And if someone looked at me and goes, "It's management," there's one guy who's like OCD about the key, I would go, okay, that's more of a better explanation than, oh no, people come up to the 11th floor in the middle of 39th Street. Honestly, if someone found this bathroom from the outside world that wasn't supposed to be here, I'd give them credit. I'd be like, wow, you found a needle in a haystack.
Fact.
Like, that's like a wild find for you.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a mailbag. That's a great way to start your Monday. If you're dealing with a bathroom situation, I want to hear from you. Mailbag, my best friend needs to dump her boyfriend. When I read that title, I'm always like, you're not going to be best friends with them anymore. That's the answer isn't like, talk to this girl and tell her. Like, this is why teenage girls date people their mom and dad don't like. No one wants to be told what to do, especially with their love life. Dear Jared, none of that listener writer crap. I need to get straight to it. Okay. I'm a 28-year-old female with a girlfriend my age who has been with her boyfriend, 30 years old, for almost 3 years. So this emailer has dealt with this crumb bum boyfriend for 3 years that she doesn't like. To make a long story short, she was definitely the driver in most serious decisions, including moving in together, getting a dog that he did not want, moving to a new city for her to further her education. For what it's worth, his job is completely remote. Now, if I'm going to take you through my thought process on she has definitely been the driver. Okay, moving in, yeah, when your friend's like, come on, let's move in, that's lazy boyfriend territory. I can understand how a guy who likes her would be kind of like, tethered along to this move-in situation. The getting the dog thing, he doesn't want a dog. You have to say to yourself, maybe your friend's a little delusional. Maybe your friend's bringing a living, breathing thing into this relationship while the other half of the relationship is like not into it. Like, what's her problem? What is she pushing? Is she trying? And again, I'm coming back at you. I'm not trying to like blame the victim here because it sounds like you care for your friend who you believe is in the wrong relationship. But if I'm thinking out loud right now, is your friend trying to like build a house around her boyfriend? Does she want the boyfriend to suddenly go, I'm surrounded by dogs and a home and knit blankets and grandmas and grandpas and children, and now he can't get out? Are you building a cell around him metaphorically? Because the dog that's where, if I'm like, hey, I don't want a dog, and you're like, well, I want a dog, and then Christmas comes along and then a dog with a bow on it shows up and you're like, surprise, look, we're a happy family. I'd be like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this? There's a dog now involved. So like, this is just my initial thoughts as I read this email. Moving to a new city for her. He did move though. That's the thing. Like, you're willingly, unwillingly, he's a human being adult who does things for his own best interest. So he does believe being with her is in his own best interest enough to move to a new city. So like blaming him for not moving, like, hop, skip, and a jump. Let's go to Cleveland. Like, I can understand that. So again, I'm pushing back, but these are initial thoughts. Since the move 9 months ago, he's been so depressed and withdrawn, blaming his mood on the dog, the move, not having a community in the new city. Okay, now I'm drifting back to Uville, because he did this on his own. He has the right to make his own decisions. Now he's a sad sack. Is he doing this to have a reason to get out of this cell that's been built around him? People when things are going to end, you start building a case. So for this guy, 9 months ago, moves, he's like, I don't know if I want this. I guess I'll move. I like this girl. I'm looking to see what this could be. And then he's sitting there going, this is all a lot for me. I'm not really feeling great. Okay, let's get real sad so that when we break up, she's going to go, well, he tried at least. So I understand there's maybe a little bit more. He knows this sadness. Yes, sadness can come over us. We all have mental health issues. I'm not trying to minimize mental health issues. What I'm trying to say is that there's an opportunity here in saying how sad you are from the dog and the move, and you that gets it going. You know what will make me happy? Us breaking up. And you can't get mad at me for, leading you on and moving in with you because this sadness exists. I've talked with my friend about him. Doing therapy, trying new hobbies. Right, you're in fix-it land. He's in sad, get me out of this jail cell of a life land. Like, I love when the friend and the girlfriend are like, we can go to therapy, we can get you some new hobbies, we new friends, and the guy on the other side is just like, I'm just trying to be as sad as possible so that you'll dump me, or that you'll be understanding when I end this. Trying new hobbies or whatever small thing, because he's not like, oh, maybe I could try tiddlywinks. Like, he's not, chess could be a good hobby for me to get happier. Whatever small things he can do to get out of the funk. Here's the other thing. You don't have kids or a mortgage together. So, like, the idea of, like, let's go fix this, like, it's way, how about you try paddleball is like what old people who are stuck in their life do. Not young 28-year-old who's been with her boyfriend 30-year-old men with no kids and no wife and no like need to be in this. Kids and a mortgage, AKA. Don't sit there and go, well, let me get into paddleball. Maybe that will make me happier. They go, let me cut this shit off, and then I can go and be alone and figure out a new way to go about life without having to answer to someone and without the backlog of anger and sadness and you moved with me and all the things that come with staying in something. And again, I'm saying this as someone who thinks that way. Like, I'm just telling you that there's people out there that are thinking a little bit differently than, oh, what if we get you into running? But so trying new hobbies. Like, I love how because you're actually right. We could try new hobbies, whatever small thing he can do to get out of the funk. But he just kept saying, he just kept telling her he couldn't promise her anything. He just didn't know what he was capable of. Yeah, he is in Vague Town, USA. Fast forward to now. They've left the dog back home with her parents for a month, and all of a sudden he's a free spirit, making friends, taking classes, feeling more himself. Okay. My question is, at what point am I the asshole if I don't tell my friend she's wasting her time on a guy who clearly isn't ready to commit to her in the way she wants him to? That is the most coherent sentence you've written in this whole thing. That is the most, you're right. Everything you said in that sentence is right. She is wasting her time on a guy who clearly isn't ready to commit to her in the way she wants him to. I love that sentence because you're right. And she's wasting the most fun years of her life in a new city trying to nurse him back for their relationship when he wasn't even willing to try for their relationship. Well, it did seem like when the dog was gone, he did change a little bit. Would love your male perspective. Sincerely, break up with him now because he never will. That's the other thing. You bring up some good points. And the points I brought up earlier in this email, I stand by. And I think you know that. You know he's saying a lot of nothing because he wants to do nothing to make himself better while also sticking with a girlfriend who will hug him on a Saturday morning and tell him how great he is. So he's, getting to be sad while also sticking it out with a great girl who he's kind of an anchor for. He's the sad anchor. And you're the friend who's sitting there, 28, your friend's 28, and you're like, you could be out there doing great things. You're in a new city. You could be out to dinners. You could be figuring this out. The problem is you can't tell a friend what to do. You have to be, to me, two things can be true at the same time. Not even that. To me, there's a two ways to go about this. Not two ways. You have to combine two things. One, you're not a fan of the boyfriend. Let's just make that clear. You think he's kind of a crumb bum. Meh. And I would get meh about him. Not angry, meh. Yeah, he's whatever. I think you have to be more whatever. You can't be, I don't think going hard at like how awful he is, because he's not awful. He's just kind of a lazy guy who's going along and a little bit sad, and he's just floating along. And it sounds like your friend who you care about is a little bit more of a go-getter. She's going to go get the dog even though the boyfriend doesn't want it. She's going to move to the new city, right? So you're looking at your friend who's a mover and a shaker, and you're like, man, why are you with sad Seth? And you can't, I think here's the two-way solution. One, you're kind of mad on him. I wouldn't be such a fan. I also wouldn't be like a not fan. I'd just be like, he's whatever. I'd also ask her, how are you doing? What's going on? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's the new city? When you get into those questions, get someone talking. Now you can receive what they say with your advice. You can't just come out and go, get rid of this loser. Because when you tell someone to break up with someone, they're now your responsibility. You have to take them into your home. They're your orphan. Are you ready to do every Friday and Saturday night with them? Are you ready to hear when they're sad, kind of blaming you for making them be single? Because you're going to be part of that equation. They're going to go, and single is sad. This person who's great is going to find someone great. They are going to move on to someone new who's wonderful and you like better for them. But until that day, there's going to be some down days. And now they're going to go, and there's a chance, I'd say a 99.9% chance, they're going to come to you and go, you're the one that told me to be single. You're the one that made me. And I had this with, I remember a friend of mine, I'll never forget this. A friend of mine, got out of a relationship and they came and visited New York. And I was out to like beers with like them and our mutual friends. It's probably like 5 of us. And we're all having beers and having drinks. And then one of the guys in the group is like, it was telling this friend who was visiting the city, you should move here. Move here. Come here. There's so many women. It's a fun time. We're all here. And I remember being like, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm not going to tell someone to do that. I'm not going to be the reason someone moves to a new city. I would feel responsible for their happiness at that point. Everyone's on this big worldwide adventure on their own and do things for their own benefit. Some people take more risks than others. Her ending a relationship with a guy who's fine is a risk. You have to acknowledge that. This happens with comedy. People go, did anyone tell you to do stand-up comedy? I think that would be a total crazy person to tell someone to do stand-up comedy. Oh my God, you were so funny at the office. You gotta go. Leave this job. Leave the health insurance. Leave your paycheck. Go do stand-up. And people ask that of you. And I go, no, that would be the worst thing that anyone could ever do to someone. I want to be there for someone. I don't want to push them to where they're going. And I don't know. I think even when I told my parents I wanted to do comedy, they were like, okay, well, what's that entail? I talked about this at my brother's wedding. And I talked about during my best man speech, I was like, you need people, and I do believe that, and I didn't really think about it until I wrote. I put a couple notes down, but one of the notes was my brother was, and I, he was sleeping on my couch while I was doing open mics, and, he's like, I want to work in the NFL. And there's two ways to hear someone's dream. You either say, that's fucking stupid. What are you, crazy? That's not helpful. Not a helpful response, but it is a response you get. I want to be a comedian. What are you, out of your fucking mind? That's a hard job. That's not a good career move. Or it's, how are we going to do it? What's the plan? What's the plan, friends, are the ones you want to go to. And with this person who's writing in about her friend who has a boyfriend that she doesn't think is good enough for her, is really the essence of this email. You got to get this person in the mode of being open with you, where then you can ask them what the plan is. Because, hey, my boyfriend's real sad and he's not really doing much and he hangs around the apartment and he says it's because of the move, which feels like he's blaming me, and he says he doesn't like the dog. Okay, no, I would say to that person, that sounds horrible. What's the plan? What do we think? What are we going to do? Well, we could get him into therapy. Do you think he wants to do therapy? Have you tried that? What's his response to you getting him into therapy? Well, he says he doesn't want to do that. It sounds like he's being pretty vague and he's not really looking to take care of himself in the way you take care of yourself. That's the plan. I think what's the plan, friends, are the ones that get people talking and realizing shit. Because, when I did comedy, well, what's the plan? Well, I'm going to go to open mic. I'm going to submit things online. I'm going to, along the way, I'm going to start a podcast. The JTrain podcast. That's right. Get yourself subscribed. Comment. Let me know in the comments. I love the comments on YouTube. Love the response we've been getting. Share. Luxury Lounge. Get ready to be the best dressed person in the room with a fully custom suit from Indochino. You'll walk into wedding season looking like $1 million without breaking the bank. Their suits start at just $4.99 and are ridiculously customizable. Choose your lapels, lining, monograms, even pocket flaps. You'll end up with a truly one-of-a-kind piece. That's the thing about customizable. That's what makes it great. For $500, $4.99 as they price it, you're getting a suit that is completely you and yours, and most importantly, fits. When a suit fits well, it doesn't matter how expensive it is. You look like $1 million. You can set up your measurements on your profile on Indochino's website. Very easy website. Love the website. Choose all your customizations without even leaving your house. If you want a little extra help, though, you can book a premium in-person experience at a showroom near you and let an Indochino style guide walk you through every step, especially the measurements. It's great to just have them there. Whatever you pick, you're going to look amazing because it's fit to your body, your measurements. You are not off the rack. Most people are not off the rack. I am not. I got wide shoulders, short torso. Tough for me to find a t-shirt. That's where Indochino comes in. Look your best this wedding season at the table or on the dance floor when you wear Indochino, especially on the dance floor. You want to be comfy. You want to be able to move. Go to Indochino.com today and use code JTrain to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's one suit. 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com. Promo code JTrain. Everybody knows their pits and feet can stink, but what about the rest of your body? When you want everything to smell amazing, you need Lumi. Created by an OBGYN, Lumi's the whole body deodorant that keeps you smelling great for up to 72 hours. I have Lumi. I have the underarm that I use, the stick. It's great. The toasted coconut smells delicious. That's a weird thing to say about underarm stick, but it is. And they have, with the kit, they have a starter pack that I'm going to talk about. The body wash. It is it's got I would say a citrus smell to it. It's great, and it works. That's the thing. With natural deodorant, I know. You want to know, does it work? Yes, it works for me. Lumi comes in a ton of great scents. So hear this. Toasted coconut, minted cucumber, lavender sage, fresh alpine, and more. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant. I use it. Cream tube deodorant. I put it on my feet. 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash. I'm telling you, citrusy. And deodorant wipes. I use the wipes. They're great. They're fantastic. And they got free shipping.
As a special offer for JTrain listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with my exclusive code. If you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that's over 40% off the starter pack. People, free money. Use code JTrain15 for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code JTrain15 at LumiDeodorant.com. Also, Lumi's men's brand, Mando, is perfect for Father's Day. Just like Lumi, it's safe to use anywhere. Check out Mando's Father's Day bundle on shopmando.com and get 15% off there with code JTrain15.
Nose blowing. Jared, I write to you from a co-working office where the guy sitting across from me is sick and he blows his nose in these disgusting, low, bubbly rumbles at least once per minute. He's trying to keep it, quote unquote, quiet, but every minute or so he bubbles his disgusting snot into a paper towel. What's worse is that I can hear that he's not getting it all out. Hey, buddy, you got some more in there. How about you another little pull of the nose right now? Can't he just stay at home when he's sick or go to the bathroom and blow all the snot out every 5 minutes instead of a little bit every 1 minute since he's trying to be quiet? Do people have no decency? Signs, sick of your snot. Love this luxury lounge. I mean, the most important part of this luxury lounge is that I'm in a co-working office. So you guys might not even be at the same company. So there's no shame. That's the problem. He doesn't have to look at you, 2 weeks from now at the meeting and be Snots McGee. He's Snots McGee to you, but you don't even know his name or what he does, or you don't have a relationship with him because you're not even at the same company. That stinks. I just think nose blowing is one of those things we should be more embarrassed about. There are things that I think we're not embarrassed enough about, and then there's other things that we're too embarrassed about. I made a list. Here are things that I think, and this is off the top of my head, here are things that I think we should be more embarrassed about. Nose blowing. Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, get it out. Go. You can honk that schnoz to the heavens in the bathroom. Not out here. Not in the middle of a restaurant. You're literally blowing gross snot into the airways. Go to the bathroom. Okay, here's things you should be more embarrassed about. Running because you're late. You should be more embarrassed that you're late. You're running as an adult. Like, have a little respect for yourself and do a faster walk. Being late. I think we should be so much more embarrassed about being late. I think people who are late and they're like, sorry, running a little late. No, sorry, running a little late is such a minimized version of what you're doing. No, you're not sorry. You did everything in your day with no regard for my time whatsoever. That's embarrassing. You woke up a little later. You scrolled a little longer and you go, who cares about Jared's time? Who cares about that loser's time? Me. Sorry, running a little late. No. It should be a formally written letter of apology. Sorry, sorry running a little late. That sentence, get out of here with that. I want, oh my God, I didn't think of you as a human being until now, until it became my problem. I thought so little of you and your time that I scrolled on my phone on the toilet too long. And I'm saying this as a person who's been late before. I'm not above it. I'm telling you, when someone, sorry, a little late. No, you should be way more embarrassed. Walking slowly, that's embarrassing. You're walking at a pace that is below what we're all doing here. Do you have nowhere to go? Do you care that anyone has anywhere to go? Saying you're tired. People should be embarrassed when they say they're tired. Who's not tired? Who on earth? Like, do you think you're better than everyone else? Do you think you're the only one You think we're all just getting into our bed at like 10:30, putting our head on our hands and going, and then waking up gently at 8 a.m. going, what a wonderful sleep. And you're the only one who's up every hour, going to the bathroom, getting hungry, having a snack, having a stomach ache, masturbating a little, being regretful that you masturbated again. You think you're the only one getting bad sleeps? And if you have no children, especially, you're saying this to people with children. You're saying this to people with sleep apnea. Oh, I'm so tired. Everyone's tired. You should be embarrassed for saying that out loud. Hey guys on Instagram stories. If you're going on Instagram stories, do you know these people? Hey guys. Hey guys, just wanted to pop on here for a second. What a way to make yourself these are secret ways to let everyone else know you're a little bit better than them. Hey guys. They say hey guys as if we're all in a room, in an auditorium, waiting for this person to come on Instagram stories. Hey guys, I'm here. Just wanted to pop in here for a second. You didn't pop in here. This is an AIM in your parents' computer room that you signed on to. You're on Instagram just as much as us. You're not popping onto Instagram. You're on it perpetually, every 10 seconds. Hey guys, they should be totally embarrassed. Having something in your pocket while you're going through airport security. If you're getting stopped at airport security and they go from the regular, what is it called? The regular
Like
metal detector.
there's two now, isn't
Right.
there?
If they move you from the old metal detector to the we're going to look at your penis and balls metal detector, you should be embarrassed. If a water bottle is taken out of your bag at TSA,
Oh my God.
like I think you should have to go through the whole line and apologize to everyone behind you. You should actually move to the beginning.
Do you know those people actually think that they're getting away with it? You know that.
Is that what they're trying to
No,
do?
sincerely, I have seen people like just come out with like bottles worth of stuff. And I'm just like, I know for a fact this is not the first time this person is traveling. This is I try to get away with it because one airport didn't allow me. Also, yeah, that's what it is.
But to me, I guess it's a sign of cheapness to me. They're like, I can't throw away a half a bottle of Dasani,
Yeah,
or whatever it is. And you go, you lost. It's over. Like I as someone who travels a lot, more than most, it is wild to me that someone, and I do want to be able, I wish there was like a little more German soldier to the TSA people. Like I wish there was a little more shaking people up. Like I want more, Russian, like undercover people going, get out of the line. You're in the back. I
think people just don't know how to travel. I think maybe you bring up a good point that when you buy a ticket to travel, you should watch a mandatory 1-minute clip of what it is like to go to TSA.
I agree with you. I've actually gone further.
Okay.
I think two things should happen. If you hold up TSA, if there should be certain things, water in your bag, keys still in your pocket, setting off the alarm, taking too long to like scan your ticket. Those things should put you in a penalty box. So they put you in a penalty box where over it says big fucking piece of shit and huge sign. And it rings a bell. Yeah. You just have to have embarrassment. I just want you embarrassed in front of everybody. And then it's like a penalty box. So 30 seconds with the bell ringing. Okay. And then we let you out. Okay. And then you can go to your gate. I think because time is valuable. I would also put a lot of these people on the no-fly list. Three penalty boxes and you're done flying. Mm-hmm. We need to take away TSA pre from people. Oh. Like I think if you had fear of losing TSA pre for not being a fast flyer, people would be more on their game. Like
I agree. I definitely think that people are just actually clueless of what they're allowed to do. I think
they're clueless because they don't feel that they have to be clued in. When people feel they have to be clued in, like Flying out of Newark is more of a suburban kind of thing. There's a lot more
Okay.
families.
Yeah.
You can see like the mom is like protective of these like teenage kids and they're going to get theirs.
Yeah.
It's a way more brutal process at Newark for me because LaGuardia, it's a lot of alonesies. It's a lot of like, a lot of people coming from the city and they're just on their own. It's a work trip, quick trip. You get to Newark and it's like families and you can see that the thing they care most about is my family getting mine. And then the thing they care less about is being a nuisance to other travelers. Mm-hmm. So you see a lot of more craziness in Newark.
Totally.
Now, here are things that people should be less embarrassed about. Now, I am a fair dictator. I think there should be more embarrassed, but here's the things that people get embarrassed about that shouldn't be embarrassed. Nose picking. I think nose picking not as bad as people want to make it out to be. If I saw someone picking their nose, I'm like, I hope you find treasure there. I hope you find something good.
Okay, I feel like there's degrees though to picking. Like I'll be honest, I have my long nails, and I'll do a quick pick.
Quick pick.
Like a quick one, and just like get a napkin.
Fling it,
or get a napkin.
I think it's kind of like sex work because in the sex work, if we legalize prostitution, then people get tested. People wear, there's safety in it. Okay. If we just let people nose pick, then people are going to wash their hands afterwards. Oh. They're going to be more, because what you're saying, you're like, I do a quick pick, I flick, and then I go on my day. You didn't wash your hands. You didn't you didn't do, you're trying to get away with a crime. If it wasn't a crime, I'm telling you, nose picking, we should be less embarrassed. Okay. Adjustments of boobs, penis, and wedgies. We should be less embarrassed of this. We should be allowed to adjust ourselves in public and have people and not feel like we're like going to be put on the pedophile list.
Agreed, yeah.
Getting caught staring. We should be allowed to stare. We should be allowed to stare at people. I think if you're caught, I was looking. I was just looking.
Okay.
Sitting in the wrong seat on a plane. I don't think this is as bad as it feels. I think when you sit in the wrong seat and someone's like, hey, I'm in 10D, and you go, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. Like this to me is like gets more embarrassment than TSA pre holdups, and it should be totally reversed. Sneezing a lot. Some people, when they sneeze a lot, they're like, whoa, sorry, I did 10 sneezes. I think good for you.
You got it out.
I wish I was sneezing 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
Dropping something loud. When a wait staff like smashes a plate and everyone does the whoa, everyone looks, I always feel like they should be less embarrassed. Totally. That should happen 30 million times a day, and it doesn't. We actually need to let the service people know how good they are at their jobs. Yeah. The fact that there isn't just plates breaking every 5 seconds is crazy.
Facts.
Calling for a name you're looking for. We get embarrassed. I think it's embarrassing. John? Is John here? Like, that would be embarrassing. I don't think it should be embarrassing. Sexually underperforming. I think we should be more allowing of underperformance sexually. And if we allowed for it, then you go, my bad, I'll come back better the next time. Because of the embarrassment involved, you actually affect future sexual performances. So if we just were like, and I think what we need to do is people need to, no, it's fine, it happens all the time. We need to like get that on paper before sex happens. That would help it. Calling someone by the wrong name. We need to be less upset with people who mess up our names.
Oh, I mean, coming from me, who people mess up my name constantly, that I just say, just call me V. And they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm like,
it's cool.
Even if you have like the name John and I mess up your name, you should not. Like, I wouldn't be embarrassed at all. Like,
right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Do you know me? Do you know the essence of me? I get Freid. Yesterday, someone's like, does anyone ever call you Freid? I go, yeah, all the time. Why wouldn't they? Yeah. Freid. It happens. I found this BuzzFeed list. And it's people are sharing 16 embarrassing things they did in public. And honestly, I'm so glad I'm not them. Now, let's go through each of these or a few of these and decide if they should be more embarrassed or less embarrassed. The train was full. My partner was behind me, so I extended my hand in between all the passengers so he wouldn't lose me. All this without looking back. I find his hand, but he wouldn't grab my hand back. After getting off the train, I turn around and see this old lady looking at me confused. So she held an old lady's hand by accident?
Okay. That's
less
cute.
Embarrassed.
That's so cute, if anything.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
also, I think it's more embarrassing for your boyfriend. He has an old lady hand. He has a hand that could be confused with a wrinkly old lady. Like, does he do any form of like lifting weights or, manly things at all? Like, you got confused with old woman hand and 30-year-old boyfriend? Okay. 2, forgot my boob was out after nursing my baby. I've done that and was accidentally sprayed the UPS man with milk when I jostled my baby while trying to sign for a package, not my finest hour. To me, it's funny, not embarrassing.
Agreed.
You're feeding a baby. Everyone should understand that milk is gonna get sprayed. There is shrapnel involved in a baby feeding. If I saw a woman feeding a baby, I'd be wary. I was squatting down to pick up my wallet in Walmart and ripped my entire ass out of my jeans. That's very embarrassing.
Totally.
It's embarrassing, but here's the saving grace. I think this is like, I don't think it's more or less. I think this is like an even. It's not more embarrassing. What even this out is that it's at Walmart. There are people who are fully dressed who look way more embarrassing than you with your ass out.
That's very true.
4, when I was 14 playing football with some friends at the park and I had an accident. Just aborted the game mid-play and ran. Poo was streaming down my leg. Kids shouting for me to come back. I just took off. That's pretty embarrassing.
That, unfortunately.
Any
is.
form of pooping yourself.
It's,
But here's the thing. They ran away. They kind of like did it. So no one caught them.
No, I mean, and this kind of also happens like with women, like when they get their period, like this kind of same thing can happen.
Women have less control over the whole thing.
Yeah. Sorry
Yeah.
to get a little TMI, but like this stuff, like when you can't control it, it is embarrassing, but also I think the way that this person handled it.
But
If you
at
agree-
comedy clubs, women pee themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not because it's just how it just happens.
Yeah.
Very rarely do men pee themselves.
Oh, really?
You hear of women peeing themselves.
You're right. You're right about that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's embarrassing or not. I think it's more embarrassing. We talked about that guy, the guy who's like the hustle kid from Boston. We talked about him a few weeks ago.
Yes.
What's his name again? He's on TikTok. He just made a video about him failing the CFA exam again. And it's like, maybe he should be spending, like, this guy, what's his name?
I'm trying to find him.
Hustle guy, Boston. Let's go, Boston guy. Boston guy shit himself during the marathon. That's the thing. That's embarrassing. He needs to be more embarrassing. The fact that the only reference to him I have is that he likes hustling and he shit himself during the marathon. Davis Clark. This guy, I am out on. I at first, I get it. I get what people are into. But this guy, Davis Clark, then went, first of all, every 5 minutes, he's like, let's get the day. Let's get after it. He works in finance, and then he says that he's failing the CFA every time. It's like, we couldn't get it. We missed it again. It's like, maybe you should be doing less on here and more, or go all the way. You're everything and nothing at the same time. Are you an influencer who's inspiring us? But the more you fail CFA exams, you're not inspiring us.
That's hysterical. Oh my God, this hat. I can't with this.
Hold
hat.
on, put it. I'm a hat guy too. I gotta
This
make
is
sure.
a different hat.
Yeah, that hat is not like mine, is it?
No, not at all.
We're gonna play this.
Diversifying my business pursuits, but I'm still going to be hammering Excel spreadsheets in the cubicles. The corporate dream lives on, so heavy hitters, watch out. I'm diversifying my business pursuits, but I'm still going to be hammering
So what does
Excel
that mean?
spreadsheets in the
That
cubicles.
means you're becoming an influencer. He's diversifying his business pursuits because he wants to be this. Here's the thing. Whoever is taking inspiration from this guy, he shit himself during the marathon and he failed the CFA. Trying, I guess there's this like group of people that are like, he tried, That doesn't inspire me.
No, I can't believe how many followers he has.
So many followers. Like, I'm sitting here putting up shit every day, and I'm like lost. And this guy,
He's killing it. Well,
he's killing
in
it.
his own way, he is.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want what he has, but I gotta say, you see that and you go, I guess maybe I should just go shit myself during a marathon.
Try it out.
That there should be more shamed. I understand that this happens during marathons. Like if you go to any marathon, I've heard that when they start the race, people just run to the forest and start shitting.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get it out of them. But like to me, when you have a marathon coming up, part of the preparation is like what you're gonna eat the day before. Like how you eat going into a run is part of the preparation. So you're not really prepared.
So wait, you bring up this interesting point. Now, these more embarrassed things and less embarrassed, is this like ways to get would you say these are ways to get viral, if anything? And like, have people gone viral from these?
No, I guess like for me, it's like, why do we apologize for these things and not apologize for other things?
Facts.
Like, why are we apologizing for, the baby's milk getting sprayed onto people when you're just like feeding a baby?
Yeah.
And not apologizing for like being a menace at TSA pre. Like you should be more apologetic.
I think some of these things are just like cultural as well. Like, being late, it is really okay in my culture to be late which is like, I didn't realize it until I moved back to New York that I was like, oh, I'm good. Like, this is actually a real problem. Like me being 5 minutes late, I think is on time.
Right.
But for other people, you're 10 minutes late, actually.
Tom Coughlin would disagree. The old coach for the Giants, he was like 10 minutes early is on time.
Yeah, no. And then I started to be like, okay, we have to start to shoot for 30 minutes earlier so we actually get on time. Unfortunately.
All right, let's go to another mailbag.
Fantasy sports fans, listen up. Pick Six, the new fantasy game from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA, is here. Get in on the action by picking between 2 and 6 players and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat: rebounds, points, assists, and more. Track your picks and play against others for a shot to win huge cash prizes. I love this. What a way to get in the game. The finals are coming up for the NBA. This is so much fun. It takes a game that's just normal and makes it yours. First time Pick Six players, check this out. New customers play $5 and get 50 in Pick Six credits. Play Pick Six from DraftKings, the new fantasy app that packs more fun into less time. Download the new DraftKings Pick Six app now and use code JTrain. New customers play $5 and get 50 in Pick Six credits. That's code JTrain only on DraftKings Pick Six. The crown is yours. 1 per new customer. Non-withdrawals. Pick Six credits expire in 6 months. Limited time offer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus in most eligible states. Not available in all states, including New York and Connecticut. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at picksix.draftkings.com/promos. Get those buns out for summertime. Hero Bread has reinvented bread, so you can eat all the burgers, hot dogs, and biscuits you want with fewer calories, 0 grams of sugar, and no net carbs. Slap together a sandwich or celebrate Taco Tuesday with pre-sliced bread loaves, tortillas, and brand new Hawaiian rolls. Hero Bread lets you eat what you want without the guilt. I love what Hero Bread's doing, because sometimes it's just about having a slice of bread on a sandwich. And if you do the sandwich with no bread, or you do the lettuce wrap, you don't really get there. You kind of just want a sandwich. And that's what Hero Bread's doing. They're basically saying, hey, let's take bread and make it less calories with no 0 grams of sugar, no net carbs. It's bread the way you want it. I know that low-calorie bread can be hit or miss, but Hero Bread, it's delicious. They sent me a bunch. 10 out of 10. Keep the carbs out of summer without compromising flavor with Hero Bread. Get 10% off your order at hero.co. Use code JTrain at checkout. That's JTrain at HERO.co. Hero.co, code JTrain for 10% off your order.
Feeling single in a relationship. I like this title. I think it's something that feeling single in a relationship is they've put words to a feeling that doesn't get talked about a lot in the dating world, I think.
Totally.
Jared, love listening to all your podcasts. Thanks for all your work. My question is about if there's a distinct feeling of being single versus being in a relationship. I'm in my late 20s, female, dating a man in his mid-30s. For the past 2 years, we both live in our own studios. At first, we had opposite days off, would spend one longer day together, sometimes full, and 2 nights a week. Now, with the last few months, he started a new job where he works 12 to 14-hour days, 7 days a week, with 1 day off every 10 or so days, which they don't tell you ahead of time. All to say, I've been really frustrated with the lack of time we have together. We text throughout the day and catch up on the phone or in person at night, but the times we've tried to plan a date night, we'll meet around 8 and he'll fall asleep a few hours later. Any full days are virtually impossible. I really do understand his job is demanding, and I'm very work-centered too. But it's really wearing on me that we get so little time to hang out. Just watching The Bachelorette is a big deal. We talk about this a lot, and he doesn't like it either, but I really don't see many options since his job has no flexibility and wouldn't want him to quit. Another problem is that I constantly compare this to my ex. We dated for 4 years, who constantly traveled and was away, which was a big reason we broke up. I like to think of myself as an independent, self-sufficient person, which is extremely important to me, but I'm tired of feeling single, or that I'm in a long-distance relationship when dating someone, when I would really just like one full day or weekend with my boyfriend. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Many thanks. Torn on what to do. Now, I love this email because there's a lot to it, but it is, again, to reiterate, this is something people deal with in a relationship. Okay, I got the relationship. I'm in it. Why don't I feel fulfilled from it? Why don't I feel like I'm in this partnership now that we are together heading somewhere together? And that's what I think when I read this email. And listen, I have been in the relationship where I feel that I'm almost still single. I see this. I've also been the guy in this where I'm operating at my pace and I'm going forward. And I do feel like, and again, this is my assumption, this is my ego, I do feel the other person saying, well, when's the hangout coming? I do feel I'm underperforming for them. I have that in my own life. Because when you're the one with the weird schedule, you kind of get tasked with, so what's the next plan? When are you going to make this happen with us? Because I'm ready to go. And not to say that they're not a self-sufficient, independent person, but they're like, I'm dating you. When you tell me, you're the one with the weird hours. You're the one that has to give me a heads up, because I can give you 2 weeks from now. I can tell you the next 2 weeks and what they entail. You need to tell me. I can tell you the next 2 weeks are 9 to 5. So Monday through Friday, I'm good to go for a date night. And you are the one with, 14-hour day on Monday and nothing on Tuesday and big day on Wednesday and traveling on Thursday. So this is all to say that the person writing this, I don't think you should be embarrassed of these feelings. I think you're right. And I'm saying this as the person that you might be writing in about. Like that person feels that. Now, the comparison, let me go through one part of it. You wrote, you're comparing to your ex who constantly traveled and was away, which was a big reason we broke up. I don't buy that. I think that's something you need to shed. You broke up with your ex because you weren't right for each other, plain and simple. The traveling was part of that. They didn't want to plan the travel with you. It might be that there might be a similar not negotiating with you that this guy presents, but I think the comparison should be, hey, I dated someone who we broke up because they didn't negotiate their travel with me, and that made us the wrong match. I don't want to go through that again. That's why you're talking. So I don't think you need to say oh, and I keep comparing. No. You're comparing not to your ex. You're comparing to your past feelings, which I think is why you have an ex. That's the beauty of an ex. I have taste formed by my past experiences. So I think you're being a little hard on yourself to be like, and I'm comparing to the ex, and I don't want to do that to this person because they're two different people. No. You are comparing how you feel now to how you felt in a relationship that didn't work out for you and made you realize that you're not the right match together. So, and that's easy for me to say. I'm just reading your words. Now, what I would say to you is there's plenty of people that dated someone who was becoming a doctor. And that doctor had to go to residency and had the 12 to 14 hour days and had all this stuff. And they stuck with them because there was a plan of what the future held. I do understand that in 2024, it is hard to tell someone what their future is going to be. But we all have dreams. So I'll speak for myself. If someone was like, Jared, how do you see your career working out in the best way possible? Well, I'd say, well, I have a podcast that I do, and it's super huge and successful, and I get to tape it, and then I get to go and do road dates at my leisure, and I can do specials every couple of years that come out and extend the audience, and I can be a comedian forever. That would be my dream of all dreams. Now, if someone was with me now, they would go, oh, okay, so you're not going to be running out and doing a schedule. You're not going to be traveling every weekend for the whole month until death. So then now we're working together. Oh, I can see. How does that dream include me? So I would say to this guy, like, when you talk about the issue with this guy, you're so zoned in, and I don't blame you, on what's going on today. But what is this all for? That would be my question to him. What's it all for? What is the goal? He he can't get out of the 12 to 14 hour days. I'm not asking him to do that. I'm saying, how in your dream of dreams, and I get this is a little hokey. This is easier said than done. But I think you have to have your dreams set out too. You can't ask for someone's dreams without your dreams being set. So I would look at this person, and it's going to be a tough conversation. And I would say, here's how I see my career going. I am working for this goal, to retire in Florida, to never retire, to work at my own leisure, the way I just talked about my career. I want to be able to live a life where I don't have to do 7 podcasts a week. I would love to do one that's 2 hours long, and then I can go out throughout the week and I can go do shows, and the shows would be, scheduled more like a musician than a comedian. A musician does a tour. People always ask me, they're like, are you on tour? I'm like, I'm always on tour. I'm always doing shows. It's not a tour to me. But you look at some big time comedians, they go, yeah, I'm going to do 2 months of stand-up, and then I'm taking the rest of the year off. That would be the most wonderful thing in the world, to be able to go, I'm doing from February through March, and then April, May, June, I'm off, and then I start again in July. I was looking at Schultz. I saw on his Instagram. I think he's out at the beach. Right? I saw.
He was, I just this morning at least he posted about his baby.
He's posing with the baby. Yeah. I saw the baby post, and it was a beautiful post about his baby. But you can see that that is an achievable goal in a certain way, to go, all right, I'm going to be with my baby and my wife at the beach for the month.
Yeah. He said something about my wife hasn't slept in 3 months. I haven't slept 72 hours. Obviously, it's really, our lives are very different, but we come together.
Right. And that's kind of that's the dreamland of oh, I don't have to hit the pavement every day. And I think if this person who's dating the 12, you have to say to them that you feel, I think you would feel better if you knew the dream included a negotiation with you. And I think if you think of your dream and you go, well, I'm working all these hard hours for what? What is it for? Is it to move to the suburbs? Is it to get to a better schedule? If there's no thought of the dream, then this person isn't dreaming with you. If there's no thought of what the future, holds, and I'm saying this for me. If someone came to me 4 years ago, and they were like, "What are you gonna do? You know, what do you see for yourself in 10 years?" And I was like, "I just hope I'm just gonna keep going and running with my head cut off." I would look at me and go, You're not looking at a relationship. You're looking at yourself, which is fine. But this guy who's 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, with 1 day off every 10 days or so, that's not forever. So what is it for? Is there a thought of a goal? And you have to say that to yourself too. So we're going to go on to the Patreon. Join the Patreon. We got some mailbag questions. Patreon.com/Jared Freid. It is $5 a month. It gets you the end of every episode, both video and audio. Also, I do Coffee with JTrain pretty much every Friday.
Yeah, they're so great. I listen to them.
You do?
I do. I listen. I get to hear what's going on in your life. Seriously,
So you heard about me going to Florida?
Yeah, and what happened with mom and
my mom seeing the video of me and going, "Oh!" She freaked out at the look of me. Yeah, you can go. You can listen to Coffee with JTrain. It's hard. I wanted this podcast to be Coffee with JTrain-ish, but it's hard because like those are so in the moment. So I just get on the mic and just tell the story of the week.
Yeah.
So it's easier to like just get into it.
Yeah, and also it's just audio, and so I think it's a little bit also more intimate.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Turn the
cool.
lights down.
Yeah, just
it's
like
good for a
listen up.
Sunday walk.
Yeah. There's a different energy on the JTrain, but Coffee with JTrain is actually like sip on your coffee and just like check in with Jared. They're fun. They're funny.
I thank you. I do. I hope they're funny. Yeah, I talked about my dad offering me his Ozempic, which was crazy. And I talked about that here too. But sometimes it's not a repeat as much as it's like it's just happened. I don't know what context to put it in. Mm-hmm. And then maybe like, you play a game like, am I being sensitive? And that makes it fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, and it's cool. The Patreon also has a whole community. So everybody's like commenting with each other. So if you're already commenting on our YouTube, just check out the Patreon. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. The comments on Patreon, people get into it. People really write to each other. So patreon.com/Jared Freid.